topics and opinions expressed in the following show are solely those of the host and their guests and not those of W4CY Radio, its employees, or affiliates. We make no recommendations or endorsements for radio show programs, services, or products mentioned on air or on our web. No liability, explicit or implied, shall be extended to W4CY Radio or its employees or affiliates. Any questions or comments should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for choosing W4CY Radio.
Welcome to the Ask the Expert Show on W4CY Radio and Talk4 TV, where we bring you educational information from experts on such topics as legal, health, financial, and home improvement. Now sit back and listen to our experts in community association law, estate planning law, tax relief, Medicare, public insurance adjusters, neuropathy treatment, business brokers, and personal injury law, along with many other topics. Now here's your host for the last 17 years, Steve O.
In California, welcome to another Ask the Expert show. Next month will begin our 18th year of the show. Someone said to me the other day, how could you do a podcast for 18 years? Well, we didn't. We were on 35 radio stations across the country. And radio, I hate to say this, though we offer radio as part of our package, radio just doesn't cut it. Everybody's going to podcast. I'm so glad we did. Boy, do we have a great show for you today. Let me welcome, folks, telling you, you want to write this name and this phone number down. Medicare enrollment is right around the corner. We have got one of the top Medicare agents in the country who's going to be educating you today. You know, the government, every time they get their hands on something, they make it so much more difficult. We're going to change it for you today. Let me welcome my friend, my agent, Stephen Fromm.
Good afternoon, Steve. Thank you very much for the introduction. As you know, we always love being on the show and talking about Medicare and helping families, making a positive difference. Very confusing topic, and we're here to help families and make it less confusing, hopefully.
Well, my friend here loves to hear numbers, so I'm gonna have to send this to him right after the show because he taught me how to do a screenshot. There's 1.2K. I guess that means 1,200 likes so far, and the show is just starting. Though we've been on the air for about 8 minutes now with TikTok. Stephen, I got to tell people something because we are getting all these new viewers now, and I really want to get into what your company does. You have shared with me so many things that you have done, from your clients all the way to your own mother. So I want people to really get to know you because I'm telling you, I know for a fact, I went through this, that having a good, caring agent is the most important thing you can do. Forget all those ads you see on TV. Stephen, let's start off. Tell people about yourself and your company.
My name is Stephen Fromm. I'm the owner of Fromm Insurance Services, and we specialize in Medicare insurance, making a positive difference in families' lives and helping them understand. I know that we do a great job because a lot of families refer us to other families. So it really makes a big difference. Being on this show has allowed us to really enhance our website, the www.frommis.com. We now have all of our podcasts on the website. So that is great news for families that listen, maybe missed it. They can go directly to the website now and watch any of the podcasts that we started back in, I think, last October. So that's been great. And they can also tune into that two-show podcast I talked about my mom, where I had to advocate for her own health, helping understand the difference between observation stays and inpatient That's a very hot topic right now. A lot of families think just because their loved one is in a hospital for 5 or 6 days and they're going to go to skilled nursing, that it's going to be paid for. But unfortunately, they may not have been an inpatient. They've been under observation stay and not have that 3-day qualifying hospital stay. And I'm actually going back to South Carolina on Friday. My mom is having a second surgery. She developed an infection. So I've already had to be on the phone with the skilled nursing to make sure they reserve her bed, don't give it away. So when she comes back in 4 or 5 days. So that took some time today to make sure everything was situated with that. So as you can see, Medicare is not just a simple transaction or enrollment in a plan. There's more to it. And by working with us, we help advocate for you. I had a situation this morning where I was helping a family with a Part D prescription drug plan. And we had to advocate for them and go over avenues where they could save money on their prescriptions because they take some very expensive prescriptions. For example, Eliquis. Everybody knows how expensive Eliquis is. Well, I was able to find an outlet for them where it is a third of the price that they would normally pay. So those kind of things that we're constantly doing for families, helping them think differently and, just making a difference. I think that's the biggest thing is making a difference for everybody.
I'm going to share this with everybody. So Stephen has become my agent, my Medicare agent. And I've never done this in 17 years. Listen, this guy, everything he does is top notch. And it is so hard to find somebody like that. But I gave him we finally got through everything. I didn't even have my red, white, and blue card. And if you're in Medicare, you should know what that means. But after all said and done, he said, "You've got the best plan out there." And, you want somebody to be honest with you. Now, in my case, I have Medicare Advantage. I might lose my plan. And then I'm really going to get Stephen to work for me. But you need someone who's going to be honest with you, who understands there's so many little intricacies, aren't there, Stephen?
There are a lot, and I'm glad we did what we did for you. We did our due diligence up front to see what your current plan is. And as I said to you, based on the needs analysis that we went through, you're currently in the best plan that meets all of your healthcare needs as well as your budget. Now, when you get your annual notice of change in September, it's important to read that letter because there may be some changes coming with respect to your plan. And this way we'll be able to identify them in open enrollment. And if need be, change a plan, or if need be, stay with the current plan. And that's what we're continuously doing these things, continuously reevaluating your plans. And that's how important it is. And that's, as I talked about with you too, Medicare is a great health insurance. Medicare is, more than just insurance. Medicare, think of like building a house, and your Medicare is the bottom of that house. And from there, my job is to help you think about how I can reduce your risk as we move forward. Are we going to, you're going to be in a Medigap plan, or you're going to be in a Medicare Advantage plan? And then are we going to be in a prescription drug plan? What's that plan going to look like? And then we're going to look at, maybe other benefits, recovery care, home care, stuff like hospital insurance. We want to evaluate risk. Insurance companies, what do? They hire actuaries to evaluate risk. So Medicare is more than just insurance. One of the things I sent you, there's a lot of math behind Medicare. Unfortunately, I'll call myself a math nerd. My father is a financial planner, and I work with actuaries, so I understand, risk involved with insurance and making sure you're positioned correctly. It's more than just what does my plan cost. I think the question should be, what is my financial risk in not having cancer or heart attack, stroke, or recovery care? What is my risk of not having those insurances? And the risk is your retirement savings. That's really what the risk is. The risk is how much do you want to tap into your retirement savings? And hopefully the answer is none. And that's why these products become so important. Our asset portfolios are diversified. You have home insurance, auto insurance, umbrella insurance, life insurance, disability insurance. You have all these things that diversify your life. But let's talk about who's the most important part of this entire equation is you. What are we doing to diversify and build that healthcare portfolio for you? What is the cost? How can we eliminate the risk? Those are the things that we really go into when we do the needs analysis. That's how deep I go with families. I had a family before this call, wanted enrolling in recovery care. They do not have long-term care insurance. So we talked about, hey, if you needed $250,000, where is that coming from? And they were like, we don't want to take it from our retirement plan because we pay taxes on that. So we're able to help them, enroll in a recovery care plan. Those are the things that I have people think about maybe in a different way. Maybe I approach it maybe I approach enrolling in Medicare in a different way than other agents do. I feel it's important that, you know all these things.
Stephen, I got a call today, and I'm starting to get a lot of these. And I want to talk briefly about the scams that are going on out there. I had a company call me, and I usually just hang up on these people. But she said she was with Medicare. She told me she was with Medicare.
White lie.
And I said, and she said, we need to work on your benefits. And I said, well, I've got benefits and I've got an agent. Well, yeah, but we need to show you other things. And I went, I'm going to ask you again, are you actually with Medicare? And she said, yes. I said, who am I with? What insurance company do I? If you're with Medicare, you should know that. And she hung up. But Stephen, there's a lot of scams going on out there that, especially someone first going into Medicare, might have fallen for that.
There's going to be a lot of TV commercials. There's going to be a lot of phone calls, a lot of text messages, maybe even some emails telling you that you're in the wrong plan when you might be in the right plan, just trying to get you to change plans because maybe they're going to offer that extra over-the-counter benefit that's going to give you another $200 or more. And you may see that and think, this is what I want. I want this plan. But no one ever takes the time to see if your doctors are in network or your prescriptions are going to be covered, or what are some of the other enhanced benefits that you had or maybe losing now. So that person is not from Medicare. They are from an insurance agency, a third-party vendor calling, trying to get you to change plans. And that's all they care about. All they care about is you changing your plan. They do not care about you as a person. Okay? So that's the difference. That's the difference where I come in. I care about you as a person. And I had some woman say to me today, she goes, now I know why you're friends with now I know why you become friends with all of your clients, because you take the time to personally know them. And I go, I do. I take the time to understand what's important to them, not just Medicare, but hey, what's important to you in your life? What are you guys up to? What are you doing? And this way it allows me to build that longer rapport with somebody, because things will change. And that's why you want to be talking with us, especially with home enrollment coming October 15th or December 7th. I know that from our viewers, we're definitely getting more and more people sending in requests for me to talk to us, requesting the book. Those are all the things. We're really, like I said, we really revamped our webinar. Our website, all because of this show, identifying the needs, what people want.
Stephen, I got to, this, the Lord's very important to me. And, there's a verse in the Bible that says, you'll know the tree by the fruit it bears. And I use that in business a lot. And I got to tell you, folks, I deal with so many agencies across the country, and they all do promotional items. They usually fall apart in one day. Stephen sent me a promotional package. Steve, my stuff is so good that he puts together. They're all, I've got my hat on. It's funny, I had my hat right next to me so I wouldn't forget to put it on. So I normally don't do this. But Stephen, he and his wife, everything from this little handheld fan to a little notebook, everything, back scratcher, pills, you put your pills in daily, everything is first class. So think about an agent who's going to handle something so important, how he's going to handle that. Stephen, I got to tell you, you are the greatest marketer and customer service person I've ever worked with in the last 18 years.
Well, we appreciate that. And this show has allowed us to build a brand. We now own the domain called askthemedicareexperts.com.
I love it.
We actually own that domain now. And if you should go to that domain, it will bring you right to the website and it'll bring you right to the podcast section. So you can listen to all of our podcasts. So yeah, we're branding ourselves. We're branding ourselves as Ask the Medicare Experts. And I can't tell you, I'm going to say this. Judith has designed probably one of the most amazing gifts that we're going to start giving out at our Turning 65 in-person workshops. And of course, she made one just specifically for you.
You better.
And when you get it next week, it will top anything else that you have ever received from us. I can guarantee you that. I will guarantee you that with 100% surety. It'll top anything that Judith has ever sent you. This is number one. I guarantee you. It's about branding. And when she gave it to me and showed me, I was like, you came up with this? I'm like, she stayed up for 2 nights. She didn't go to sleep for 2 nights. I swear, 2 nights in a row, she didn't go to sleep, just working on this brand stuff, brand recognition. So wait till you get this. You'll be blown away.
We've got right now 2.5K likes right now.
Mm-hmm.
And we still got about 10 more minutes for the show. I want to tell people, please tap on the screen if you like the show. We don't ask for any gifts at all. Please give us a follow. If you have a question for Stephen, please put it in the chat line. Stephen, I know you can't divulge and you don't know a lot of things yet because our government waits till the last minute to let you guys know. Anything that you can share with us right now?
Well, we know that Humana, has come out and said that 600,000 Medicare beneficiaries will be losing their plans. We know that for a fact. I did read something on United Healthcare talking about, 1.2 million Medicare beneficiaries could experience some type of change in their plans. Now that's pretty vague, so that, I don't know if that means plan interruptions or maybe sometimes we're saying, the benefits being reduced on some of these Medicare Advantage plans. So, it's really hard for me to go into that much depth right now because a lot of it's still coming out. So I don't want to be that person saying, oh, you learned this. I'm just trying to give some basic facts of what I read. And, as I always talk about, Medicare is just, I'm going to go back to what I was talking before. It's more than just insurance. It's risk protection for yourself, diversifying your portfolio, working with us to understand, oh my God, I might be exposed here. I didn't think about this. A lot of times I get that people will say to me, I never thought about some of these things. How come you talk about it? I go, I talk about it because I care. I talk about it because I care, because I treat everyone like my mom. So if you're my mom, I want to make sure you have the best insurance and I want to make sure you have the best protection, and that's why how I register and I come across. Everyone's my mom, and I want to make sure that you're treated well, you understand your benefits, and our relationship is not just today, but it's in the future. That's important to us.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm looking at, there's so many people basically asking the same question. We've heard this before. What is the difference between this Medicare that's coming up in October versus Medicare Advantage I hear you talk about?
Well, an open enrollment is a period of time, October 15th through December 7th, where we reevaluate, people that are on prescription drug plans, Part D. We're going to look at their plan and compare it to what they have currently and what changes are going to be in 27, as well as during this period of time, someone could be enrolled in a Medicare Advantage plan, and it'll allow them, we will review their current plan based on their zip code and see what changes may be coming for 2027. And if those changes, there's a plan that will provide a better healthcare need for them, then that's something we'll discuss with them to see, hey, we'll do a side-by-side comparison, Steve, like we did for you. We're going to do the side-by-side comparison. We can look at your current plan and new plans that are out there and make a decision whether or not, hey, we may make a formal recommendation that you should consider changing plans. Or my recommendation may be, you're in the right plan. There's nothing you need to do right now. And I think that means a lot to some folks, because you're just saying to them, you're reassuring them, hey, listen, you made the right decision, and we're going to stay with that decision. It's not, for me, it's not always about changing someone's plan, making sure they understand their plan and the benefits of their plan. And that in itself is worth everything to me. That client now is wow, you didn't try to sell me something. No, I'm not here to sell you anything. I am definitely not here to sell you. I'm here to educate you and teach you about Medicare and teach you what's important and make you understand maybe things that you didn't understand before. And again, I'm always going to come back to this. That my job is to protect your retirement assets. My job is to protect your retirement assets. And if I can protect your retirement assets by introducing you to new other insurance products, then I've really done my job. And, that's where, it gives me great satisfaction knowing that, because we've all worked hard for our diversified portfolios. And you don't want to be taking pre-tax money to pay for something. Why should you take pre-tax money when you can get a non-taxable cash benefit for something? It's very simple.
And explain to people how you get paid.
That's another great question. My services are 100% free. I get paid by the insurance companies. If that, Medicare beneficiary family that I'm working with, if they should decide to enroll in a Medicare Advantage plan or Medicare supplemental plan, cancer, heart attack, stroke, recovery care, home care, or even dental insurance. We've been doing a lot of dental insurance lately. I get paid a commission from the insurance carrier. So, my consultations are always free. And my first consultation, honestly, is always a fact finder. It always has to be a fact finder to understand the family and what their needs are. And from there, we're able to design a plan for them that I think is going to work best for them. Now, does someone have to enroll in all the products I suggest? No. Maybe they enroll in one or two now and one or two later, whatever it may be. But at least we're putting together a plan for them so they understand that.
Make sure when you call Stephen, you talk about long-term care, because you don't have any idea how expensive it's gotten, right, Stephen?
It's very expensive. And I can, I'll say this, out of every 10 families I speak with, maybe 2 have long-term care insurance, and they got it a while back. And, premiums are expensive, and there's different underwriting requirements for long-term care. With some of the newer products we have now, they are less expensive, and it's a lot of health questions more than anything. It's not a physical, you're not going for blood or anything like that, blood work. And it's a great product. It helps protect your assets. If you needed $200,000, 15, 20 years down the road, where is that money going to come from? Well, if you were smart with us, you would have bought this recovery care plan, and you'd have that money sitting there for you to use. And doesn't get reimbursed to the doctor or the hospital. It comes directly to you for you to use as you choose.
Well, I don't have to tell Stephen this, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's still scrolling. I can't count those. People said, this is such a great show. I can't believe no one else has done anything like this. This has been a great help. 2 of them are in the California area, so it's perfect. Stephen, again, tell people how they can reach you.
Sure. Well, they can always call me direct on my work cell phone, which is 908-268-2356, or they can go on the website, which is www.from, our last name, is.com. And there is a contact form on the website that will come directly to me and my new assistant, Jackie. And Jackie will give them a call to follow up and schedule a consultation. They can also go on the website now and request a hard copy of the book that we co-authored. They can easily get that as well, and we could follow up with them. So we're here. We're available. We're here to help people and make that positive difference, as you and I talk about every day.
I got a little surprise for Stephen. We're going to be replaying this show Friday at 2:25 Eastern Time. That's this Friday at 2:25 Eastern Time. So if you've missed any of the show, we're going to be replaying it back this Friday. Stephen, thanks a lot, buddy.
Hey, listen, you know how much I appreciate this opportunity to work with you. It means a lot.
Hey, travel safe. Your mom's in our prayers.
I will. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
That's Stephen Fromm. We're going to go to break. When we come back, we've got our weight loss show. We'll be right back.
Thanks for tuning in today to the Ask the Expert show on W4CY Radio and Talk4 TV. Tune in next week and every week to hear more from our experts on personal injury, insurance, air condition repairs, estate planning, Medicare, and many other topics in the areas of legal, health, financial, and home improvement. See you next week.